Yeah!
Yeah, we do.
That's right. What's going on, everyone? I'm Drew.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Let's Party, Prayer, and Punk Rock.
Yeah, it is. Woo! Well, we're back after a 3-week hiatus here, so we've seen a lot of movies.
A lot of stuff going on. Yes, we have. That's for sure. Yeah. We had a little freeze going on too.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yes.
I don't think we had talked about it
That
last
happened
time.
a couple weeks, so we
Yeah.
had the Super Bowl happen.
Yeah. The super guy, there has been a
lot
that's
of
happened.
stuff. So
We've
a
had-
freeze and that like stopped the world here in Texas for a week.
It is funny how that works.
Yeah.
It just totally
We had our
freezes
kids home the whole week.
world.
Yeah, which was cool. It's like, but then they have to make it up at the end of the year, I guess, which kind of.
Yeah, it
Sucks.
goes against it. Like they have these days set aside, but then I think if there's too many, and I don't know if they've hit that yet, because Nathaniel was saying they haven't hit them yet.
Oh.
So it's like, okay, well maybe they put enough aside, I guess. I
Oh,
don't know.
good. Because it's like, oh, we get this free time off, and then you're like, oh, but you got to make it up in June.
Right. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, we're not
yeah.
going to be closed on the 25th. It's going to be the 30th.
But I kind of like when the whole world kind of shuts down and forces you to just be woosah.
Yeah, I mean, there is something that is kind of just...
Like, you were home with us for a couple days. And
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was like Monday, it was about mid-Monday afternoon, right? I
Yeah.
guess.
And then you were home the rest of the week until
Till
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and it was
It's
so
so
relaxing. It's kind of just, you get to like recalibrate.
Restart.
You know?
I was doing my...
It was nice.
I was doing my workshop during that time, so that was really cool. I was like able to, people were home, so they were able to jump on.
Yeah,
you know.
that's right. For people who don't know, what is the workshop?
Oh, so I do, if you go to my website, Coffee, Chaos, and Kisses, I do health coaching and energy work, and so I only work with women. And I went through a 2-week workshop with them talking about their food and how it pertains to the different energies in our body. And so kind of helping them, I call it my food feels. So feel your food.
Feel your food.
So we go through like a whole thing, and we spend 2 weeks together, and I teach them all about their energy system and how to move their trauma, and I do meditations, and it was a lot of fun. It's always been on my mind to do this, and then God sat me down. I broke my wrist, and God sat me down, and I put it all together, and it's helped a lot of people, and I'm looking forward to I did a second one in February for Sacral for Valentine's Day, and now I'm taking a break because, 2 workshops.
They can find them on Facebook.
Yeah, and they can and they can sign up the next month. I'll probably do one next month too. So we'll see.
Oh, cool.
It's all in the works. I'm really excited about this work. I feel like it's been calling me for a long time. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Right on.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me plug myself.
Yes. Plug.
Sponsored by Coffee Chaos and Kisses.
Yeah. Ah.
Om.
Sunshine, moon, clouds, sky, darkness. Cut.
Wait, darkness? No.
Well, like fade to black.
Fade to black.
You know.
Fade to light.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Oh, I love it. So I kind of got up in there during the cold weather. We were able to like play with our kids and do fun like indoor
Board games
things.
and puzzles and
They just love that. You know, you just give them an hour of your time, and they just like, man, they just love it.
I know, you give them an hour of your time, and then they leave you alone for like 5.
Yeah.
No. I'm joking.
You're still
totally
reading
joking.
Babysitter's Club. That's an ongoing thing.
Yes, we are. We are celebrating. We are reading it. We are
celebrating cursive.
We're still reading cursive at the beginning of the chapters. Why do they do this to me?
Oh man, you must be getting good in your cursive reading.
I am. I was reading it on Friday morning, and that's what I told Amelia because the night before I was going to start a new chapter, like chapter 8 of the second book. It's like the case of the Phantom Caller. It's the second book in the Babysitter's Club series. I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not. I'm sure you are because you read them all. But
I am.
But
It's been a long time though.
yeah. But at the end of chapter 7 starts chapter 8, and it's the cursive because someone has written in the diary, and whenever they have written something in the log to explain something that happened in a previous babysitting experience, so they have the information, they have to put it all in cursive. And I was like, no, we're gonna wait until tomorrow morning to read this because I don't want to read cursive right now.
Aww.
I mean, we'd already read a chapter. Yeah. Then we read 2 chapters. So we're like on chapter 10, I guess, or something like that.
I write in cursive and print.
I know cursive. I know I could write it if I had to slowly.
Yeah.
But I do feel like, Billy Madison and, Rudo,
Yeah. Billy Madison. We also saw Adam Sandler.
Yes, that was something that we did while since the last time we podcasted.
Yeah.
We went and saw Adam Sandler.
Man,
if you
that
look
was
on
good.
our Instagram or pages, yes. Dirt. Hi, Drew.
You can go on
You
your
can-
page because you have the videos on.
That's
Drew's
right.
Party.
Yeah.
But we should post it on Let's Party too.
Yeah. We'll post it on there for sure. But yeah, we went and saw Adam Sandler at American Airlines on Wednesday night. And he was hilarious.
He was hilarious. And you
he
got
did it
such
with,
good seats too.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
did
know.
have
That
good
was my Christmas present, so I didn't know where really. I think you had told me we got good seats, but I didn't realize they were that good. Like
and
we
I knew
could
I
have
got
thrown
like
something
end seats.
on
So I
the
was
stage.
like, yeah, dude, I want like aisle
Yes,
seats.
I was able to put my
excuse
foot out.
me, I gotta go to the bathroom.
We did have to get up for a lot of people that.
Yeah, but you had to get up for
though.
them. And yeah,
Yeah.
it really didn't matter, honestly. But yeah, we had
He
really
was
good seats, and he played
funny.
with Rob Schneider opened up for him, and it was interesting. Like because we got there. It started at 7:30, right?
Yeah.
And we got there a little bit late. I mean, God, the traffic was just.
Horrible.
It was a lot different than when we went and saw 21 Pilots. It just seemed like the traffic
flow was
pattern,
perfect.
the parking, police, people, whatever. And then a lot of those parking structures, they weren't closed because it kept saying passes only,
Yeah.
And I think maybe it was just because maybe the local citizens, residents, maybe they were having their spaces taken. I don't know. But it was a little bit of a nightmare. We got there at 7:45. We walked in the door.
Yeah.
Somewhere around
so
there.
Rob was already
He
almost done.
Yeah, we went to the bathroom and kind of got our
Popcorn.
drinks or whatever, and popcorn exactly. And by the time we got in, he maybe played for another 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Adam Sandler came out, and that
But
was
for that
maybe
5-10 minutes, he was funny.
He was, yeah. We didn't even
that's
see much
hilarious.
of it. Yeah, because we walked in, and really it was kind of like, whoa. Like, we're pretty close up
We're so
here.
close.
Yeah,
we were on the first floor, right next to the stage. Like we could have thrown something on the stage.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. Yeah, I would have hit him.
Yeah.
No, but
He comes out all dressed up like he didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he was just
Adam
wearing,
Sandler, not Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Rob Schneider had sort of like a dress jacket
Coat on, like he was dressed up.
Yeah, like tie, I think, or something. Like he looked, you look like I don't know, John Cusack from Grosse Point Blank or something.
Yeah, and then the such stark opposites.
Yeah,
it's hard
when
to say
Adam
that.
Sandler comes out,
And
he's got a beard.
And he's wearing like a hoodie
Yeah.
and red
sweatpants.
and orange red weird looking
like
shoes.
Nikes or something.
But
I'm not sure.
they had weird.
Yeah, it was like
spongy
fluorescent
bottom.
green outline with like a fluorescent orange or red or something. It was weird.
Like he dressed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there
And
wasn't
his
a mirror
wife
in
wasn't
hotel.
on the tour.
Yeah.
Like honey.
I don't think she was either.
But he does
he
does make fun of the fact that he's gained weight and things
Yeah.
don't fit. And,
Yeah, he's self-deprecating for sure.
Yeah,
He
he's
had
old.
an interesting like comedic act. It was just strange because he had his guitars were lined up, so he knew he was gonna play music like he does, But then sometimes he would just be in the middle of a bit, and then all of a sudden he'd just go into a song, like just standing there with the microphone without any instruments, and the guy would play behind him,
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, and they'd be funny little things, and they'd come out of nowhere, and you're like, was that part of the bit, or did you just think of that right now?
Yeah.
Because some seemed like they would go on, and it was like, is this going somewhere?
And then he would just end it, and we're like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
And he's like, yeah, that wasn't good.
Yeah, that was going too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
He had a balloon thing where he was the balloon came to his window and she wanted him to oh my gosh, kiss her and it was
and then
really
other things.
awkward and other things. And that I feel went too far.
He even said it at the end of that.
Yeah.
He's like, I think that bit went a little too far for that reaction or something like that.
Like the nipple on the balloon on the top. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is so funny. But he was definitely like charming with his kids' stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could tell he just
He talked a
loves
little
his
about growing up.
wife,
Yeah, for sure.
just cherishes her. And Chris Farley.
Yeah, that was a really
tribute.
cool homage he did when
Yeah.
he played that song that I forget what it was like called, like the things you didn't know about Chris Farley or something like that, you know?
And it was like lots of videos of them. And,
Yeah.
And you know how they were like really good best friends.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it was a really sad
And
little
then
video. Great song.
He ended the show with that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he
A
did.
tribute to him.
And they had like a few other. I thought it was funny when he involved the crowd.
Yeah, with the
With
flashlight.
And, you know, I need somebody over 70, or I need a newly wed couple. I need someone with kids, and he shined a light on two people that were straight up Scuba Steves.
Yes,
That was awesome.
great.
Guy and a girl couple, and yeah, they're straight up scuba, like
he's
snorkel.
like, you need to be pointed
everything.
out for sure.
Yeah, and they were just like, yes, like finally they saw us.
Well,
That was awesome.
I want to dress up like super crazy for Madonna, like fluorescent 80s, you know.
So do I need to like dress up like, what's his name, Alexis Arquette from The Wedding Singer, like Boy George or something like that?
Please don't. No eyeliner for you.
Okay. Well, it's the 80s, so it's like great.
I know
But
that's.
I don't want to look like Robert Smith. Okay.
I don't
wanna
know.
look like The
I don't
Cure.
know. I think it's more of like a girl thing to dress
For
up
sure.
for Madonna.
Yes.
We can buy you a cool jean jacket or something.
I can just stand there like, you know, uncomfortably
Well, I look
supporting
weird.
you and watching everyone else around me like, you know, like, God,
I am
really
sure people
like
are gonna be-
Material Girl still.
I know.
No.
That's
No.
what I'm thinking. Kind of like
I
a
think that's going
Material
to be a
Girl
fun
vibe.
show. I mean, seriously, that, you know, she's an icon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
definitely.
like saying, you know, like, I mean, I wouldn't go rush out to go see Beyonce, but if I saw a show of hers, I mean, she probably puts on a damn good show.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just like Madonna. I mean, even though, I mean, it might be more interesting to see the Madonna show because, I mean, an arm might fall off. Who knows? I mean,
Oh,
No.
she's gotten a lot of work done. But we're far enough back that it won't matter.
yeah.
I'm not gonna be like shaken by it.
Yeah, I can't remember where we're at, but I remember, yeah, it was kind of, yeah.
I mean, we're not.
I think
like,
we're at American
super
Airlines
close.
again, too.
Oh, okay.
If I remember.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
good place to see a show.
to see a show.
They
yeah.
have good sound, you know, and you know, even the high seats, it's still a pretty decent
Close.
view. It's not like you have to have binoculars or something like that, you know.
Yeah, we have Craig Robinson is the
Yeah.
next thing we're gonna see.
Craig Robinson
For
from
your
The
birthday.
Office, and you know, everything
Every-
that involves like Jonah Hill or.
Didn't one of our friends tell us he's in a new series? We
Yeah,
have to look that up.
we got to look that up. 'Cause
Yeah, it's like a mystery series.
Is that what it was? A mystery series?
Mystery?
Yeah, we got to look it up. We
Yeah, I don't know.
you know, maybe we should have done our homework
Before this.
before this one.
Well, maybe somebody could
but-
comment and tell us what they know about that.
that would be great.
That would be awesome.
Thanks a bunch, Peter.
All right, well, let's, since we're on the Adam Sandler conversation,
Yeah, after the movie, right? We were
We-
like kind of on an Adam Sandler kick.
now Jack is like a huge Adam Sandler fan, and we put on Wedding Singer, and we play that for the kids, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
But he hadn't seen it yet, and I think that all the other kids had seen Wedding Singer before.
I don't think they had. I
Oh,
don't
they-
know.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
No, I don't think
I
they
didn't hear. Did they really like it?
Yeah,
They did?
they liked it.
Yeah. And so we were on a kick, so we saw that, and then
Yeah, we've been watching that and kind of went back a little bit on some of the, you know, older movies. We'd kind of already been watching some of the older movies before the podcast to kind of get like some classics in there, like, you know, Wayne's World.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
yeah. That was
Which, I
good.
mean, it's kind of funny to watch those movies again. Like, anyone that's seen Wayne's World knows what it's about. And it's,
But seeing it as like an
An
adult,
adult is
is
just-
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
it just
enjoyed
says-
that.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
like a guilty pleasure.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny, like, how some jokes don't hit the same, and then others that didn't hit the same are better this round.
Right.
Or, you know, like, it was It was, and then it's also fun, like, man, look how young Ed O'Neill is.
I know.
You know?
And Mike Myers.
And Mike Myers, like all of them,
all
yeah.
of them. It's so nuts. I mean, when was that made in the
1992. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember seeing that.
That was like a long time ago now.
I know.
That's like 30 years ago.
Yeah. I know. Seriously. Yeah, I was like 16 or something like that. I remember seeing that with John Munoz and Robert Strauss. We went and saw that, and it was just, you couldn't even like hear half of the movie because everyone was just laughing. You missed the jokes, you had to see it again and go, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, and it was fun for me. I've seen all of it like as a kid, but then when you watch it as an adult, it's like you pick up so much more.
Yeah. Oh,
Plus,
yeah.
I hadn't really seen it since I was a kid, so I really had forgotten a lot of it. So
Right.
It's like watching it for the first time. Kind of,
Yeah, exactly.
You remember, like, the poignant parts, like the really funny parts.
Yeah, the Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
those things.
the ones where people make memes out of them,
There's the whole swing and all that stuff,
sure, yeah. But yeah, that was fun to kind of go back. We saw Happy Gilmore too, which was like is that in the 90s too?
Yeah. That was like 95, 96.
See, I always say, like, don't you like your home? Get in your home.
Get in your home.
So now Jack knows where that comes from. Yeah.
Has its airline ticket.
Yeah.
Send it home.
Send it home.
Kevin Nealon is just awesome.
The guy with the broken hand kept getting
Carl Weathers.
run over.
Yeah, gets knocked around and glued back
and then
on.
he like swishes it. I just forget all
At
these
the
funny
end.
little pieces.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that one is Happy Gilmore has got some really good pieces. Like
So, like-
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Like
Although
the
he's
psychotic.
annoying. I don't like him in that.
You don't like him
It
in that?
bothers me. He's hurting old people. It enrages me. I want to go punch him in his face.
But then you laugh when the air conditioning vent lands on the lane.
I know.
Mister! Ah!
I mean, because you know it's
crazy
fake.
Mister. Yeah.
He's like, I think I just killed her.
Jack's like busting up.
I know. Jack
was
really liked it. And then Billy Madison was on today, just so happened to be on. We were talking about it, and then we turned on Spectrum, and boom, it was on. So we watched a little bit of that. That's funny. It's a little more sassy, maybe, so.
Yeah, it's a little more risque on the humor, that's for sure.
But a lot of it, I don't think he gets.
No.
They don't get it at a
think-
certain, that's like going back and watching stuff when you're an adult, and you're like, oh.
That's what
they meant. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we did just really spend a lot of time going back into movies that were,
What Lies Beneath? That was one you hadn't seen. What Lies
yeah,
Beneath?
and
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford's the bad guy. I'm not super into that.
Yeah, I mean,
That might hurt my feelings.
it had a good, but that's why it was good for the whodunit part because
I didn't expect
you're like,
it.
well, it can't be Harrison Ford because I
Right.
mean, he's
'Cause he's Han
Harrison
Solo.
Ford, dude.
Yeah,
he's
he's
the
Indiana
Jones is bad.
Yeah.
But that's it. He had the cool, kind of Alfred Hitchcock vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Some
and
of
I
those
like Michelle
angles, too.
Pfeiffer. She's a
And
great
she did a great
actress.
job. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then we watched Die Hard 4.
Now, I have to tell you, that I like better than the first one. I like Die Hard 4.
Now,
So
did you hear
I
the
was
first
up. Do you
Die Hard?
remember? I know, but do you remember
Old
when I was
Steve.
watching that? I was like sitting up
You
and
were- you're like,
super into it.
Oh.
I was really because he was fighting for his daughter.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, he was fighting for the country, and then his daughter ended up getting involved.
right,
in it.
and then it became personal.
And then it was personal.
and then like the semi truck that like breaks all the cement beams.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
when he's
I'm
fighting
like,
with
how
the-
do they make this?
Yeah.
Like, how do they do all that? Like, you just tore down a whole entire bridge with a semi truck. That's got to be like, how do they shoot that? That's insane to me. I don't know. It's like it was really good, and I was on the seat of my pants. I liked it.
It was pretty good. I have to admit, I like that one.
I
That
like
one was
it
way
better
better
than
than 5. I don't know about better than the first one.
Well,
I mean,
you
for
have
me,
like a special love for the first one.
Of course. I mean, there's nothing that will tear me apart from that love.
I know. He's like trying to save his wife in the first one, but their like romance they do not have like good chemistry, that actress. So that one playing his daughter was a better actress than the one that played his wife.
Yeah, no, yeah. I agree with that, Bonnie Bedelia.
But you like the bad guy in that one.
Yeah, Hans Gruber was the best. Yeah, because the bad guy in Die Hard 4, that's the only problem is that, to me, he's just weak. His, like, cohort, the Asian girl,
Yeah.
played by, I can't remember, Michelle Yeoh. No, I'm wrong, because that's a different actress. But, like, she was more badass than he was.
Yeah.
He just kept threatening, like, don't make me mad or I'm gonna, you know. Just kind of, all right, whatever, you know. But the action pieces I thought were, you know, some
Those
were
were
pretty
really-
far-fetched, you know.
Yeah.
But like the opening one where they get attacked in his apartment home, you know, in Justin
Yeah.
Long's building, like, man, the detail that they'd use with all of the bullet pops and, you know, I don't know, that was really exciting the way they did that, you know. It like really set it up for the flow. you
Yeah.
know? And then the daughter getting involved and all that
I like
stuff.
the story, I think, more.
Yeah. And the fifth one's got some pretty cool sequences, but it is kind of a weak story. It's pretty straightforward. He ends up teaming up with his son
Yeah.
to go blow
Which
stuff
I
up
may
in
really
Russia.
like because I, have a son.
Yeah, we should check it out. It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
Check
It's
it
not
out.
that bad. But yeah, what else do we see here?
So
well, you had never seen like we'd seen John Wick, but you hadn't
The first
seen
one.
Yeah, you'd seen the first one, but not two
The
and
second
three.
and third one. And
And
I...
we got 4 coming out, so we thought we'd see those before.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Right. And that comes out in March.
March 24th.
You only had to tell me that like 6 times.
24th of March.
But- So before this, I was kind of like, on Keanu Reeves. And then I was told that he's struggled with his life so severely in his, like,
yeah.
personal life. And, like, everything he's gone through, he lost a girlfriend and a child and all these things. And so I really had softened him towards him. And then we watched it, and I was like, ooh, this is really good.
Mhm.
Talk about, like, keeping you on your edge of your seat. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a 2-hour movie, but it goes very fast.
Yeah.
And
yeah, for
I'm
sure.
like a passer-outer. Like, I'll fall
Yeah.
asleep during a movie. I've stayed up for that for the most part. The third one, I fell asleep, too, at the
Yeah,
end. But,
yeah.
But most of it, I was, like, into
Yeah,
it, you know?
You were.
And so
And,
now
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
excited for the third one.
It flows
the fourth
pretty
one.
quickly. You're right about those. They do. You know, once you just start the story, it's
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, you know, by the end of the third
There's a
one,
lot of killing.
yeah, there is. By the end of the third one, I mean, it's got some great pieces in the
Yeah,
third
they take
one.
it a little far.
But man, you know, by
Stretch.
the like I was telling you, you know,
Yeah.
when they start the fourth one, it's been a month or two.
It's gotta be.
After the third one, right? Because they kind of mostly all play like the next day or
I mean,
or
I'm
a week
surprised
after
he
or
was
something, you know?
alive. I know he's in a suit.
No
that's like-
spoilers, but you know, obviously there's a 4. He survives, but it's like the way he survives, exactly, right?
Go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the coat thing, like, okay, I get, you know, he's got the reflective bulletproof
Shield.
stuff or whatever, which really is what just kind of knocked him back. But then after, falling and then kink, you know, like, and then like to the ground, it's
Straight
like,
to
dude,
the ground. I
like,
just broke my wrist.
How is like his face
Yeah.
not shattered on one side, or you know? But it's like it's John Wick.
Yeah. Movie magic.
Yeah, it's John Wick.
I mean, I literally fell from 3 feet off a skateboard and broke my wrist. If he fell, boom, boom, like 10 feet to different things and then like 20 feet to the ground,
Yeah,
you'd have broken shit, dude.
yeah.
It's just, you would.
But you know
And
what?
he's not
I want
young.
to see the next one.
I know.
You know?
I know, it's a movie.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know.
for sure. Yeah.
But-
And it's really cool the way they, like I was saying, they create this world that like no one else knows about. But there's
Yeah.
like this hotel that everyone stays at, and inside there's rules. You don't do this. You don't do that.
But who
and, you
stays
know,
at it?
like
that-
only the hired assassin people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like any of the outside world, you know, it's like this whole little thing that's happening while the rest of the world is going on.
Normal.
You know?
Yeah.
And at certain points, like when he's at the end of the second one, he's like talking to him and he's like, you know, now, and all of a sudden everyone in the square stops. You know, and then they go, you know, like that's how much power there is.
They
You know,
have
they can create. And
control.
it's just like, geez, dude.
Yeah, it's like a trip. It feels
it's
like it
pretty
could
cool.
actually happen.
Right, you know, yeah, because I mean, it's not so far fetched. It's not like superheroes. You know,
Yeah.
it's just crime lords. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's plenty of mobs
sure
in
that's
New York and
exactly it.
everywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like creating this own
Yeah.
special world instead of like Vito the crime boss. It's just these really calculated, sophisticated killers with
High-end
a high
table,
table. Yeah, you know. It's really cool the way they
With
do
all
that.
the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then what? We were just looking it up. He's like 58 years old. And he's like doing
I know,
all these
and
movies.
he's doing all these things.
And it's not like the movie, there's a lot of time in between some of these segments. I mean, it's like, 5 minutes of talking, 15 minutes of a fight.
Yeah.
And then, 10 minutes of talking and then 20 minutes of a fight.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is a lot to have to go through, especially
And
when
he
he's
does his
flipping
own-
and flopping. Yeah, and he does all
his own stuff.
like fight stuff and whatnot,
Well, like when we chose, like, what is your favorite fight scene of any movie? Go.
My favorite fight scene? Oh,
Yes.
did we talk
We
like
never
Raiders
talked
of
about it on the
Lost Ark?
podcast, but now we can.
Oh.
Because when we talked about it, the reason I asked you that question was because I thought of The Matrix, and I was like,
yeah.
I really like the
That's
Matrix
right.
fight
Yeah, yeah.
scenes, but then I was like, but that's like CG, going, like doing weird stuff, where it's not like legit fight scenes. But now that I've seen John Wick, I'm like, ooh, I really like the fight scene with him on the last one with the Asian guy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sword and everything.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yes.
a really good fight, huh?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a sword sticking out of his chest.
Yeah, and that doesn't have any CG, so I kind of feel like I want to change my answer to maybe like the John Wick
All right.
movies for best fight scene that I can think of.
See, one that sticks out for me, and I don't know why it does, but there's the fight sequence in Lethal Weapon 4. Where Jet Li is like the big bad guy, and it was when he was first introduced really
Yeah.
into the U.S. market,
Well, then that makes
film.
sense.
And I mean, everyone kind of knew his type of martial arts and stuff, but he really sort of brought him and Jackie Chan, but he brought a lot of that quick, hit you in 5 seconds or hit you 8 times in 5 seconds
Yeah.
type of guy,
Right.
And so, Martin Riggs, his character was always the badass in these Lethal Weapon movies. He had the martial arts skills. He could take these people out. He knew how to do this and that. And I remember growing up like, dude, I like his style and the way he does things or whatever. And then all of a sudden, this big bad guy comes in. And at the and throughout the movie, to me, it was like, oh, dude, what's going to happen? There's going to be the sequence because they have certain run-ins real quickly, but nothing really gets going until finally the end, where him and Murtaugh, played by Danny Glover, had to fight Jet Li's character together in order to get rid of this guy. They nearly kill themselves trying to do it, because by the fourth one, it's about their age and how they're
Yeah.
getting too old for this shit.
And
Like
he
they
gets
always
stuck on the
did say.
toilet.
Yeah, and so by
I
this
love
movie,
that.
they're finally like, we gotta stop. And then there's this
Yeah.
really bad one, but Martin Riggs still's like, but I gotta think, I can't let, I don't know. That one always sticks out to me. But that's
Mel
like, kind of
Gibson.
fight things. I mean, it wasn't even a huge, long fight, but it was a good one.
Yeah.
But there's a few other ones, but
Sure. Well, you said that when I first asked you that question, it was. Do you remember what you said?
what, the one from Raiders?
Yep.
Lost Ark? Oh, yeah. Well, that whole sequence on the airfield,
Yeah.
in the way, like, sort of one thing causes another, the chain of events, it causes another thing to
That
happen.
moves it on.
Yeah,
down the
she
train.
gets locked in the plane, and then she shoots the guys, which, shoots the truck that they're on and causes
You have to, like-
gasoline to spill, and then there's an explosion, and then that
Yes.
gets to the
And then he has to
gasoline.
get up there and get her out.
all while he's fighting this bald-headed Nazi guy, and then he gets shredded by the propeller.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was just a cool, and then the music behind it,
Sure.
John Williams, like, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
John
and
Williams.
it's like,
Oh yeah.
get you going,
Plus, you were young when you saw that, so
Oh,
that,
yeah.
like you could feel those like
I had the
fun
screenplay.
vibes.
I had
Oh, yeah.
that
That's
screenplay.
right.
I used to
That's
have
right.
that, or like a draft of it. That and
Uh-huh.
Empire Strikes Back,
Wow.
and we just like threw it around. Didn't really care.
Oh, would you have it
Right.
still?
I'd have to ask my mom. I mean, there might be like half of it somewhere, but it was a full, like
Wow.
a straight up screenplay. It wasn't pinned. It had just like the
How did
thumbtack
you get
thing.
that?
Cool, because my dad,
Your
was in
dad
the,
was doing well.
movie business stuff or whatever. Did all the He-Man or whatever.
Oh yeah. That's
Back in the day, I
so
guess.
Cool.
He had his toes
I mean, I
in it.
feel like it still would be so fun to find a piece of it and put it
I'll
in
have
like
to ask her, honestly.
a window box
Yeah.
frame.
Because it had like the graphics on it. It would show like all the
Oh.
sketch of like,
What?
when their faces were melting. It would show all these like different, like a regular
That
screenplay.
is
It'd
like
have
a
the
treasure.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Oh,
I mean,
hope
it
you
wasn't
can
like
find
one of
that.
the drafts. It wasn't like, Harrison Ford walked around with this one,
Yeah.
reading his lines. But it was one of the drafts that they used to,
on the movie.
exactly.
Or to,
I don't know if it was on the movie or just for
in
one of the
production or whatever.
executives, you know what
That
I mean? So
probably
they
is
could
worth
kind of.
some money.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I gotta find
All right, this summer, Mom, we're going through your garage.
We're going through it. I know,
See what we
seriously.
can find.
It could be
Hey,
there.
that's really cool. Well, now I can see why that would be your favorite fight scene, too, because you were young when you saw this, so it's like one of the first ones you saw.
I remember seeing that in the theater. I remember seeing it in the theater.
Cool.
And I remember it was just me and my younger brother Darren, and my dad at the time. We were like in some movie theater in LA, and Darren was too scared to watch the movie. And I mean, I'm like 5, 6.
Oh.
So he's like 4.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like back in the day too. Like he sat outside in the lobby, and I sat in the movie theater. And I remember my dad like going back and forth. Like he would sit with me within the movie for like 10, 15 minutes, and then go out there and check on him. Then come back in and go out there and check on him and come back in.
Oh, wow.
And so I just like watched this movie pretty much by myself. I remember being in the middle of the day. There wasn't really anyone in the theater.
Oh,
And it was like an
wow.
older theater where it had like the red velvet seats,
Oh,
and
wow.
like the golden frills and all that
Yes.
stuff, I can remember that, and like the lighting down the aisles and all that
You
stuff.
can, like, just transform.
I could totally see
Go
that,
there.
and then seeing like Darren like right outside the lobby, like Dad would
That's
go out.
a
and
young memory. 5.
I
wow.
can remember that. I was 5 or 6. The movie was made in '81.
Yeah.
I was born in '76, so yeah, I was like
born
5.
in 81. Look at that.
There you go.
That was a good thing to come out of that year. And I share the same birthday with Harrison Ford. So look at that.
Connection.
Han Solo, Indiana Jones.
That's right. That's pretty cool. That's funny.
That's cool.
But yeah, boy, that was
Shit,
like a
wow.
pretty crazy little tangent there. We went
Yeah.
around,
Around and around.
over and through. We also saw like a few other ones like Super 8, Maid.
Okay.
Kat was not a fan of Maid. For
Okay.
those not familiar, Maid was made by Jon Favreau, who is like, he's a big person now in directing movies. He was like the driver for Iron Man, he's in Friends, all
Yeah,
that
he
stuff.
was Monica's
also
boyfriend who was
Monica's
angry
boyfriend,
and Friends.
wearing the clown outfit. He was in Swingers with Vince
Yep.
Vaughn, which is one of my favorites. And then they
Yes.
did this second movie, which he wrote and directed with Vince Vaughn, called Maid. And Kat was not really a fan, which I can understand because Vince Vaughn is super annoying in this movie.
I like Vince Vaughn. I like him. I think he's good. But I wanted
You
him
wanted
to
to punch him in the
die in
face.
this movie. I was like, oh my gosh, you're saying everything wrong in every situation. And just John.
Well, at one
just
point you
watches
asked
him.
me, when does he get shot?
Yeah, does he die?
He gets shot soon, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was so annoying. So I'm not a huge fan, but I'm honest with you, and I'm like,
Hey.
I would not have bought that movie.
Right.
Be good to never see it again. I just, if you feel like you need to feel irritated about something, watch that movie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Would that work?
I don't know why we would ever want to feel irritated, but maybe you're an actress.
It had a little
And you
redeeming
have to-
value at the end.
The ending was good, but you have an hour of 20 minutes of him bitching
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
inappropriately in
there's a-
every scene at every opportunity.
when he's
I mean,
keeps
it's
hitting
so
the button for the stewardess.
cringy.
When he's
Oh,
gone,
I just want to kill him.
are these free too? Do me a favor. Go back to the business class. Round a couple of honeys. We're gonna do a sort of California gangster beach vibe party.
And she's like, "Don't you talk to me like that." I
Listen,
was like,
asshole.
"Speak your truth, girl."
Yeah.
Oh
that was really
man.
funny.
I mean, I guess it was funny, but I'm like,
It's like he was trying to do the character from Swingers, but it was charming in Swingers, and he was just using as an asshole in this
yeah.
one, where he was just
because
really
you don't care for him. There's no redeeming factor about him.
because
Now-
he's kind of leeching off of John Favreau's character.
yeah,
he's trying to
very
help
much
him
so.
out.
And you
John
feel
Favreau's always trying to help him
so
out.
bad for John Favreau.
Yeah,
You
He's
just, I just
vouching
like so,
for him and-
feel so like sympathetic, and he's just like miserable the whole movie. And they
Always
fight a lot.
bitching.
They're like, but I
Yeah,
guess
literally, they're always
literally fighting. But I guess they're best friends in real life. So.
Yeah, they are. I mean, yeah, that's why they do a lot of this. That's what they do have good chemistry.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like watching brothers fight. You know, it was pretty.
I don't know.
funny.
I mean, it's a good dude movie. Dudes can probably get into it. I'm too emotional. I'm like, why is he being so loud and rude?
I get it.
I can't get into it. I don't know.
I get it.
That's the only one I didn't like,
understand.
though. Out of all of them,
Yeah, because we watched a bunch.
we
of
watched.
others.
Oh, and Saving Private Ryan, we watched
Yeah.
too, and that was like a good, like
That was
fight
like-
scenes and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Super, super violent, but I mean that's such a good, sad but good ending too.
Yeah.
Like it's an emotional movie. I really enjoyed that movie. Watching it again, I had only seen pieces of it, so.
Yeah, and it was interesting because it's like, you know, Saving Private Ryan. I remember seeing the movie and that opening scene. You're like, ooh, wow, you know, that's
Yeah.
incredible, you know, and like
Heads getting blown off.
Oh, yeah,
and
I mean, just-
arms, and the guy's arm gets blown off, and he's like walking around looking
he's
for
like
it.
looking for it and picks it up, and he's just bewildered.
Oh.
Doesn't like, you know, nothing else is matter. Yeah, like, and the way you film something like that, you know, I can only
Unreal.
imagine on what kind of level. I mean,
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg, obviously,
Sure.
but it's like, you know, like how
But
much
you-
of that has to be right at one time?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, is it just, you know, a quick minute segment here, and then, you know, man, that's a lot of editing, a lot of cuts, and you know, you just think like, or did they just do that in one long take?
I
Which
wonder.
I doubt that,
No,
but
yeah.
it's just like,
Tom
wow.
Cruise is Tom Cruise.
Ah.
Not Tom Cruise.
Not Tom Cruise.
Hanks does such good acting, such
Yeah.
deep,
Genuine.
emotion provoking, subtle acting in
Yeah.
this movie, and it's just so good.
And they did a good job at fleshing out all the characters. You know, it
Yeah,
wasn't
you
just
really love 'em
Tom
all.
Hanks and he steps to the side and starts like bawling for a minute, and then has to
Oh,
hold it together and get back to the troops. You know, it goes
Oh.
through a lot of the other characters too. And what was interesting is I was listening to a service from Arbor Road, and that's what he was talking about. Brent was talking about how, you know, he wanted to watch these movies with his daughter and some of these older movies that, you know, that maybe this newer generation just hasn't
Seen.
really can appreciate
Yeah.
because, you know, this, that, and the other. And so that was one of the movies, Saving Private Ryan. I thought it was kind of interesting because he was talking about how he was talking about our faith and how what we need to do as far as being part of like God's army, so to speak, you know,
Right.
or being called to action is, you know, like sometimes, you know, like as Christians, that's what we're supposed to be doing. You know, we love one another, and you know, we are called to action in certain situations. And it's like the way he wants us to be built is kind of something similar, like in this movie Saving Private Ryan, where, you know, he was saying how in the movie, you know, their job is to, once, you know, the opening battle sequence and all that, Tom Hanks' job is to round up a group of soldiers that he sees fit, and they're going to go find this Private Ryan, whose 3 other brothers died in battle in World War II when it's set. And the mother's about to get all 3 telegrams on the same day saying that her 3 sons are dead. And they want to get this Private Ryan so that way, bring him home. She has one of her sons left, you know, so they have to go on a trek to find Private Ryan. He's scattered somewhere
Yeah.
in Germany or France. They can't find him, you know, so they have to follow this trek to find out where he is. And along the way, they come across a few battles. And in each one of these battles, it's like, you know, boop.
Huddle.
They get together. Everyone's got a job. You know, that guy with the sniper rifle, that guy was badass.
Yeah,
you know?
he was awesome.
I love his character.
yeah. And he prayed before he shot every time.
Yeah, you'd have verses, you know, what's his name? Barry Pepper. He's awesome. But he would, which kind of reminds me of Alex Winters from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
A little, yeah.
You know?
He does look like him a little.
It's kind of funny. But,
So everybody had like a job.
yeah, and so he,
Sniper.
you know, exactly. Sorry, I got off on a tangent. So, boop, they group together. Yeah, you go high, you go low, you flank right, you flank left. We're gonna do this, that, and the other. Everyone had a certain job that they were to do, and together they accomplished the mission. You know, they found themselves in a battle. Boop, willing to get through it. They get themselves to another one. Whoop. Here we go. Let's group up again.
Huddle again.
This is what you do. This is what I do. Here we go. You know, and yeah, and it's kind of like being in God's army. You know, everybody has a job to do, and everyone kind of thinks that they're supposed to, you know, do a certain thing. You know, whether it's just like, you need to believe, you need to do this, you need to do that. But, you know, we all have different gifts. You know, like like you probably have more compassion than a lot of other people, or I might have more compassion than some other people. Maybe some people can have a different viewpoint and can understand where someone else is coming from and be able to talk to them. Intellectually, it's somehow
about God.
maybe work themselves in that way. Maybe it's just a gesture of trust. Maybe it's a knowledge.
Yeah. What is your gift, really, and kind of finding that. How do I fit into this group of people, and what is my gift? What is my trait that I can help accomplish this?
Right, because we're the body of Christ, and everybody has a different job in the body. The ear can't perform without the eye, right? Like it says in the Bible, and you need the hand as well as the foot.
Right.
They can't work independently without getting the help from everybody else. You know what I mean? And I think that was interesting watching that movie after he even mentioned that.
In fact, that's why we watched that movie.
Yeah, that's why we watched that movie. And interesting enough, you sat through that whole damn thing. That thing was like 3 hours. We were just, I think it was like a Sunday night too. It was like,
if I'm in the right mood, and it's a good movie, I'm into it.
Yeah, and that movie really is. Because like I said, it fleshes out the characters. So every time they get together, you're hoping something doesn't happen to one of them because... like Giovanni Ribisi's character, Mom, like all those elements. You're like, dude, man, I can totally understand why they come back so disillusioned because, like, they're best friends crying for Mama, and now they get to go home and walk through a Walmart. You know what I mean?
How do you
and it's act normal, and it's like, wow,
PTSD, man. Ugh.
But it's just interesting to see it in that kind of fashion where it's like the body of Christ, It's like everybody sort of doing their own job to help make a whole.
Yeah, and some of us are going to not, some of us will not prevail to the end.
Yeah,
and it's we all have our own journey.
Well,
but you still gotta get together and work together and do it for the bigger picture. Which is interesting, you're like selfless being a military, you're going there to help fight for a cause or fight for other people, they put in 6 people in danger to get that one guy.
Right.
And there was some death going to get him.
Right.
And
yeah.
So
it's interesting.
It's not going to be easy, basically, to be a part of that community. We're going to see hardship, we're going to see problems, and we're going to see death and all sorts of stuff around us. And it's about trying to keep together the community and still praise him in the chaos, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's like the ultimate chaos, but...
Yeah. Hopefully one day we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Once you're in heaven...
Yeah, I was going to read a few verses here as well that kind of touches on, just loving one another as well.
Yeah, cool.
In 1 John 3, chapter 11. 3:11.
Hey.
It talks about this. Love one another. And it says, this is the message you have heard from the beginning. We should love one another. We must not be like Cain, who belonged to the evil one and killed his brother. Why did he kill him? Because Cain had been doing what was evil, and his brother had been doing what was righteous. Don't be surprised, dear brothers and sisters, if the world hates you. We love our brothers and sisters who are believers. It proves that we have passed from life to death. From death to life. But a person who has no love is still dead. Anyone who hates another brother or sister is really a murderer at heart. And you know that murderers don't have eternal life within them. We know what real love is because Jesus gave up his life for us. So we also ought to give up our lives for our brothers and sisters. If someone has enough money to live well and sees a brother or sister in need but shows no compassion, how can God's love be in that person? Dear children, let's not merely say that we love each other. Let us show the truth by our actions. Our actions will show that we belong to the truth, so we will be confident when we stand before God. Even if we feel guilty, God is greater than our feelings, and he knows everything.
Yes.
I think it's interesting when he talks about using Cain and Abel, And it's like, Cain is like the world, and Abel is you, trying to do the right thing, and the world's trying to push that away from you. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is easier. This is easier. Why believe in God when you can have it over here?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I mean.
You don't need God. You can do it on your own.
And evil is always going to stand in your way, and I mean, and it's tough. I mean, to love one another. I mean, some of these people that we're supposed to love aren't necessarily lovable.
It does, yeah. And when he says love, it means to love them inside of yourself. It means to not create hate in yourself towards them. It does not mean for you to go love them.
Right. Hey, it's okay.
It's okay. You can hurt me again. But it's to just soften yourself. But you need grace for that. Right. And that's the point. Because you are supposed to love everyone, but you cannot do it without God.
Right.
You can't. Your ego will not allow it, period.
Amen.
So you need God. So it's like, love everyone, but first call on me to help you do it, because you're going to need some strength.
Yeah, I can't do it alone.
No way.
Because we all need help from God. I'm sorry. We can try and do it ourselves, and it'll get us only so far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes to forgiveness and second chances and, starting over, doing a clean slate with yourself, a second chance to yourself, and allowing yourself to be free and be able to love. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love other people.
Right.
But I don't mean go love your ego and tell yourself that you're beautiful and that you're perfect. I'm not talking that kind of love.
No, and I mean, we all make mistakes, and I mean, that's what that second chance is all about. And it's really, a second chance isn't really a second chance. It's just always going to be another chance through God's eyes. What I mean? He's not going to go, nope, sorry, man, I gave you a chance, dude.
Yeah,
you didn't do it. That was it, bro. Sorry, dude. Have fun down there.
Yeah, he always gives you another chance.
He gave up his son for us. You know what I mean? He forgives us of our sins. But, I mean, we have to learn from that, though. We can't just fall back and just think, well, I can go ahead and just murder this guy and rob that person over there because God forgives me. Well, God also understands your intent in the matter as well. And if you're trying to use that as your little protective shield and you don't even care, you ain't going to really work that way.
Because you have to come and confess to him that you were wrong and ask for forgiveness.
Exactly.
You can't go, I just did this, and I'm going to ask for forgiveness, and you're going to give it to me. That doesn't work like that.
Lord, forgive me. Now off to the strip club. I mean, it doesn't really work like that.
Right. Right. Forgiveness is tricky. Super tricky.
And it's work. It's exercise. It's molding of your mind to do the right thing.
Connecting to God.
Yeah.
Because again, with the ego, we are resentful as humans. You hurt me, I'm mad. Mm-hmm. I'm mad at you, and I will hate you.
We want to figure it out. I have a problem. I need to figure this out. This isn't God's problem. He can't help me. I've got to figure out this, or that. And I mean, well, no, I mean, he can help you, but you have to be willing to let him in.
Soften.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier said than done. It really is, but
it's an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
You choose to soften at the situation as it comes to you. You make a choice to take that breath, take that moment, ask for grace. Allow me to love this person and not punch him in the face, Lord.
Amen. Now that's not to say that God's now protective shield, and you're like, ugh. Dang it, you can't punch them in the face.
Right, of course.
You still have to use self-control
But that's what the protective
use all your
shield
tools.
does, right? Gives you that
right.
ability. Like my grandma always says, Jesus is a gentleman, so you must ask him to come in and help. He wants you to ask for his help.
Yep. There you go.
So Jesus is a gentleman, and he can help you love another person.
Amen.
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 I like the way that was ending.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jesus, really fast, Super Bowl, they had a national commercial about Jesus on the Super Bowl.
They've been airing that around, something similar around here, but I don't know if they've been airing that, if that was only in Texas or
But isn't it
states.
national for Super Bowl?
Well,
that's definitely right.
I'm pretty sure everybody saw that.
I love it. Bring it
that
on.
that was pretty
That
cool.
made me happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, we're going out.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way,
Two.
the song we came in with, that people probably remember, it was
yeah.
a band called Faith No More. A song called We Care a Lot.
We care a lot.
Yeah, they're a great band. And then right now, speaking of second chances,
Yeah.
we were going to go with something.
You just found this artist, this new artist.
Yeah.
Well,
and
he's not new, but it's new to us.
he's not new, but man, yeah, it's Gregory Alan Isaacoff. And he's got a very similar style to like Lord Huron. If you've listened to our podcast, you know, Lord Huron is kind of a moody, you know, sort of
Yeah.
like transcendent, like, man, it's
Feely
Yeah.
music.
exactly, yeah. It's like, it's almost like, yeah, it's like a heartbreaking loss kind of vibe, you know,
But it's like
it's beautiful
good
music.
Yeah,
You
beautiful
know,
music.
take attention to too, you know what I mean? But yeah, this guy, he's South African born. I guess he's been doing this for quite a few years. And man, this guy's talented. And he's got this song that we're going to play for you now. It's called Second Chances. It's on his album called, what is this one called? The Weatherman. I want to say it was like in 2008, 2013 or 14. The newest one he has out right now is 2018. So he may be coming out with something soon. But yeah, this song is called Second Chances, and it's by Gregory Alan Isaacoff. You guys
That's
have a
really good.
great week.
Yes, we love you. Don't do drugs.
Listen to more upbeat music than maybe this song for the rest of the week. Otherwise, you might have a lot of tears in your eyes.
Well,
Or
it could be. It's kind of a lovey song.
it is a lovey-dovey song.
I feel like
It is a really pretty song.
share it with your woman if you're a man. She'll like it.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. All right, guys. You take care out there.
All of my heroes set up straight. They stare at the ground, they radiate. Me, I'm mumbling in the kitchen for the sun to pay off. Lonely as a ring on a cold coffee cup. I'm some sick hound digging for bones. If it weren't for second chances, we'd all be alone. My hands, they were strangers lost in the night. All the waving around in the dusty light. I'm waiting in the wings while the trees undress. Cupping my ear to hear the wind confess. I'm a ghost in the garden, scaring the crows. If it weren't for second chances, we'd all be alone. I'm running from nothing, no thoughts in my mind. All my heart was all black, but I saw something shine. Thought that heart was yours, but it might just be mine. I could share it with you if you gave me the time. I'm all blood and knuckles, longing for home. If it weren't for second chances, we'd all be alone. climb a shot through the dark. I'm a black sinkhole. If it weren't for second chances, we'd all be